What's up, goodies? Welcome back to your girl channel and to my kitchen, how to cook. And today we are making restaurant style chicken and pasta, fast, easy and simple. Be sure you subscribe, goodie, if you have not already, and turn the post notification on so you won't miss another upload. And for all our returning goodie, on the don't know so the girl loving on the ready for cook. Let's go.
Look what prayer can do. Hypocrite and bad mind must slow. The same mouth will cheer for you, and the same one them would turn round and boo. Yeah. Prayer me I use and win. Prayer me I use and win.
Okay, goodies, so we have our pasta here, and I'm going to use the entire box of pasta. Of course, you could substitute this out for something else. Now, to get our pasta ready, you want to make sure that your water is boiling. Add salt to flavor, and I do like to add oil just to be sure that my pasta does not cling together. But that is optional for you, but it's a must for me, right? Now, just go ahead and add your pasta in and allow it to cook for about 7 to 8 minutes. That's all you need. You don't want to overcook it, okay? 7 to 8 minutes and you're perfectly fine here. Now, moving right along, we're going to get our chicken breast ready. Now, what I did was make sure that my chicken was washed nice and clean with salt, lemon juice, and vinegar. And I did take extra fat off and slice it into thinner slices. Now, after I did that, I covered it with the plastic wrap, give it a nice little tap, and I only tap one layer only because I had already sliced the chicken breast into much thinner slices. But if you're going to make your chicken breast thicker than I'm doing here, you want to be sure to do this method on both sides of your chicken breast, okay? Now, some may say, can I use other parts of the chicken? You can also use chicken thighs for the recipe, but chicken breast is better for this particular type of recipe. Alright, now after you've done that method, you want to go ahead and remove the plastic wrap from your chicken, and now we're going to season our chicken breast. Now to the chicken breast, I'm going to add a tad bit of salt to flavor, and goodie, I did not measure anything here. I just basically eyeballed it, right? Then you go in and add your black pepper to it. I did go in and add the chicken seasoning because we are definitely cooking chicken here. And to the chicken seasoning, I added some all-purpose seasoning, and you can substitute that for whatever it is that you like. And that is all that I put on the chicken, all right? Gave it a nice little rub in. Then I flipped it on the other side, and then we are going to do the same step that we did the first time around. Now, goodie, if you are watching me thus far right here and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please feel free to subscribe and turn your post notification on so that way you will definitely do not miss any of my uploads. And please give the videos a thumbs up, goodie, because when you thumbs up the videos, YouTube will see that you like the videos, and they will push these videos and the channel out into a much wider audience. The channel will grow and the video will grow. For some of you who are not receiving my notifications, YouTube might have in fact turned them in the off position, so you might want to go and check your notification. Some of you might need to unsubscribe and subscribe again in order to kick the notification back into high gear, alright? We get that right? Alright. Now, after I've seasoned the chicken on both sides, all I'm doing here is just remove them and put them on a plate and sit it aside and let it just go and sit for maybe about 15 minutes, not a whole lot. Now, this is what you want to do after you've seasoned your chicken. In another container, you're going to add some all-purpose flour here. And the all-purpose flour cannot be substituted for self-rising flour, okay? It's just all-purpose flour. Now, to the all-purpose flour, you want to add some cornmeal, all right? Pure cornmeal here. Now, we're going to season up this cornmeal and flour combination. So, I added the chicken seasoning, and I added the all-purpose seasoning, and I added some black pepper. Then I added some onion powder and garlic powder. I did go in and add some paprika to the mix for color. And that is all that I did here. I did not add any salt here because I already had salt on the chicken. But if you want to add salt to your flour and cornmeal mix, you can go ahead and just add the salt in. Okay, and that is what the combination should look like when you are done completing this step. It is perfect and it's ready. You could add more seasons if you like, but this is perfect for me. All right, moving right along, we are going to get the onion. Now, for your onion, you don't want to slice your onion into big slices. You want to go ahead and dice your onions, okay? You could use any kind of onions that you choose to use in your kitchen. It is fine. It's just so happened that I have this particular onion, and this is what I am going to use for the recipe. However, like I said before, do not give it big slices. You want to dice your onions, okay? Just like I'm doing here. Now, I do notice that I have some new subscribers. Welcome to the family. We are one big happy family over here. Thank you for taking the time to subscribe to the channel. I so do appreciate all the LOVE up over here. Now, to the chopped onion, the diced onions, of course, we're adding our bell pepper. I like green bell pepper for this recipe. However, if you want to add other colors, you could do that if that's what you have. But green bell peppers are better for this recipe. If you're looking for color, this is the way to go. But if you're not into color like I am, just go for red or orange or yellow bell peppers. It doesn't matter. Just as long as you have bell pepper to the recipe, it's going to work just fine. Now to that, I'm going to add some fresh parsley here. If you don't have the fresh parsley, you might say, go ahead and add cilantro, whatever, dried or whatever you have. Fresh or dry, just go ahead and do that. But it's better to use fresh parsley for this recipe. Okay, and you'll see why later. Now, moving right along, you want to make sure that you have your oil in your pot, and your oil needs to be at 350 degrees in heat at least. So that way, when you add your chicken into the oil, it doesn't wait forever to start frying. See, it starts frying immediately. So just go ahead and kind of put your chicken into that mix, and you want to tap the flour and cornmeal mix down into the chicken, so that way it kind of stick to the chicken, okay? And then you place it in the oil. Now this method does take about 8 minutes of frying time. You don't want to overcook your chicken breast, because chicken breast is one of those delicate kind of a part of the chicken. If you over fry, it is going to become dry and it will not have any moisture on the inside. And for this recipe, you want to be sure that your chicken breast is cut thin. However, if you want to cook it, cut it thicker than I did, fine. But if that's the case, you want to give it more time of frying, which is about 5 minutes on each side. Totals 10, but mine required less frying time because I did slice it really thin here. Okay. Now that is what it looks like after about a couple of minutes. You know, when I went ahead and turned it on the other side. And like I said, my fire here is at a medium heat. Please do not turn your fire on high heat because it's going to cook too fast and it is going to be raw on the inside. So make sure that you have your stove here at a medium heat and allow it to fry. If you think you need it to be a little bit more crisp based on your fire heat, go ahead and just kind of turn it like I'm doing here, just to assure that the meat is in fact cooked, but not overcooked, y'all. You want your chicken breast to be nice and tender, soft and tender on the inside. Now, after my chicken breast was done, I went ahead and placed it on a paper towel, y'all. And if you don't want to put it on a paper towel, sit it on a rack and let it chill and wait until you have accomplished the next step. And believe me, goodie, you don't want to miss the next step of the recipe. It is off the chain delicious, okay? Perfect. You can see how the chicken breast is nice and crisp and very tender. It's very, very tender, still tender, okay? Now I did remove half of the oil from the pot. You do not want to throw all of it out. Just remove some of that oil and put it back on the stove top. To that, you want to add about 4 to 5 tablespoons of butter. I'm using unsalted butter here. we're going to have this combined, and we're going to fill it with nothing but flavor. So to that, I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of garlic here. Okay, and we are going to let this come to a sizzle and come together and start releasing the flavors, because honey, we want this pasta to have flavor, you know what I say? Flavor, honey, flavor galore, because you know it's all about flavor in my kitchen, right? So this is what I did. I have a small can of tomato paste here. Do not add ketchup to the recipe, y'all. As much as I love ketchup is not supposed to go into this recipe. And no spaghetti sauce here either. Be sure that you have a can of tomato paste here, okay? Now, go ahead and have it dissolve into the oil and everything else that you have. Go in there, the butter and the garlic. Just combine everything, and your fire here is still at a medium heat only. Please do not put it on high heat, because it is going to burn the sauce, okay? Now what we're going to do here is add the bell peppers and the onions into the sauce. And again, our fire is still here at a medium heat. Combine all together, all right? Just like I'm doing here, goody. We're going to combine those together. And of course, we want to kick it up into high gear, okay? But with your fire still at a medium heat, be sure that you do not turn your fire up high, okay? Critical for the recipe. Now here's what you're going to do. You're going to go in and add your pasta, okay, into the sauce here. I did have a little bit of that water in the pasta. I didn't throw it out, so I just went ahead and just throw it in there. I did sprinkle a little bit of dried pepper flakes, some black pepper. I want to flavor this thing up real good. I did add a little bit of salt here, just a tad bit more, some paprika, and of course you could remove the salt from here if you want to. A little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of the onion powder, okay? We are going to give this thing flavor, honey. I did add some more of the chicken seasoning to it, all right? Because, man, listen. And we did add some dried thyme to it, okay? If you're going to add fresh thyme, please remove the leaves from the stem. And this is where you add your fresh parsley to the mix. Now you want to combine everything together, just like that, all right? Now, remember you started cooking this thing with your fire on medium heat, okay? Now when you get to this step, remember your pasta is already cooked. So we're going to turn our stove down to that low to medium heat, all right? You don't want to turn it all the way down low. Low to medium heat. Then after you've done that, everything is combined, you're going to add 2 tablespoons of white sugar only, okay? If you don't want to add white sugar, go ahead and add cane syrup. It's going to work perfectly fine, all right? But do not add brown sugar to the recipe. And when you are done with this thing, it is all done, it's combined. Now, a lot of y'all may say, why did I add sugar? This is what the sugar is going to do. The sugar is going to balance out the salt and the spicy from the pepper flakes, okay? It's going to combine the seasonings and everything together, and it's going to give it a main flavor. So you don't want to put too much sugar in this because you don't want to kill the recipe. It is just there to balance all the ingredients together, right? And that is it right there. We are done, and it's time to put this goodness on a plate. So all right, so we're going to plate this up, because you know I couldn't go without showing you guys how I plated it up, right? So I just went ahead and just put a little bit of pasta on my plate here. And then all I did here was kind of slice the chicken and just place it on top of my pasta. And dinner was served. Better than Olive Garden, better than any Italian restaurant you could find anywhere, honey. You know what I mean? And we are done here. I just sprinkled a little bit more dried parsley on top, and it was finished. Fast, easy, and simple. Now go to that is it for now. Make sure to say spread the love, give her the thumbs up, tell a friend to tell a friend. And when you get done doing that, tell me what you want to see me cook next in my kitchen. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy.